Hi and welcome to this video where we'll discuss a little bit about RichRelevance, some experiences and how to implement it. RichRelevance is a really popular recommendation system, mostly used for high-end web shops, as it's basically an enterprise software that is kind of expensive but also very powerful. In this video we will talk about some experiences with the tool and also how to implement it. My name is Lars Holgaard, and I have the company Jabo.com, which specializes in IT for marketing departments, a lot of outsourcing, and really focusing on web shops and how implementing, for instance, RichRelevance and other recommendation systems can help them a lot. So first of all, RichRelevance is used to show recommendations, and it's probably one of the best tools in the world to do it. And our opinion is clear. RichRelevance is a really good system for showing recommendations. It is really flexible, it's popular at all the marketing departments we have spoken to, and it's also relatively easy to implement. The reason for the word relatively is because implementing any recommendation system is kind of difficult. It's not something you just do overnight. And even though the salesman often would say, well, it's just a couple of scripts, it's not just a couple of scripts. It is difficult to implement, but it can be done. It does require some programmers, but when you have that solved, it's actually a really, really good system. I have done the implementation before, and I have talked to multiple people who have used the system, and everyone is really happy with it. And personally, I have seen some really, really impressive growth rates and really, really impressive numbers when shops have used RichRelevance, and the recommendations are, in general, really, 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 really good. So the first question I often get is, can the marketing department implement RichRelevance? And I gotta be honest, the reason is, marketing departments, they don't want to go into IT, of course, because that requires hours, it's difficult, it has to be planned and so forth. But no, a marketing department cannot implement RichRelevance on themselves. This is a highly technical task. It does require multiple things, which we'll cover later in this video. And you really need the help from the IT department. Now, what we have done for many customers is also helping them do these kind of implementations, meaning they will contact us and we can do the IT part. We will collaborate with the IT departments on how to do it in the way they want it, so the IT department is happy with the implementation, but they don't have to spend a lot of time on it, because it is kind of complex, there is a big documentation, and it's not just putting some scripts on, it does require some skill. So that's just a very important thing to know as a marketing, CMO, responsible guy. It's not just putting out some scripts. Then, doing the implementation, there's three big steps. The first is an importer, because RichRelevance needs to know what kind of data they should have. That is, products, categories, what categories the products are in. And then there's also an attribution feed, which is basically giving more information about the product, such as it could be weight, size, colors, it could be how much profit do you have when you sell a product. You have to give all this information daily through RichRelevance. Then there is some JavaScript you have to insert. This is just some scripts, it's very simple. And then there is the third one, render actual recommendations, which is a pretty big task. I have not seen any implementations take less than 100 hours in total. Never. What we do have is around 100 hours when the project is simple and the IT departments are collaborative. With that being said, it's definitely possible to get tool working in around that amount of hours. So there's a couple of decisions you have to make when you implement RichRelevance. The thing is, if you want to see the full guide on how to actually do the implementation, you will go to Jabo.com on the resources, and there is a link to how to implement it. We have gone through a lot of things on how to actually do it. Not code samples level, but very detailed on when you should do what and the flow and so forth. But there's a couple of key decisions you have to make when you want to do the RichRelevance implementation. The first one is, when you do an implementation, and these three things here are a little bit technical, so if you're a marketing guy, show this to the developers maybe, or just contact us. You don't have to understand this, but this video is also focused a little bit on the technical guys, so just a small disclaimer. The first decision is, do you want to implement this in an API, your own API / backend, or do a front-end implementation? The thing is, RichRelevance, they recommend that you implement this in JavaScript, meaning that you have a very tight combination with it, meaning that you really hard code RichRelevance everywhere, everyone you have a banner. While most IT departments they want to have the recommendations in some kind of API, so they can call their own internal API saying, show us recommendations for this product. This is a key decision, and if you read the guide on java.com, we end up suggesting front-end implementation simply because this is what RichRelevance suggest themselves, and there are some technical reasons why I want to do it. Then there's the second one is you can either just trust the data RichRelevance delivers, meaning that you deliver them data every night, like pricing, pictures, titles, some data. And then you can just show this on the website if you want. The problem is, what if this data has changed since the last import, or you have unique pricing for every customer, or you have some coupons and you want to change the price? Then you have to load the data from an internal system. So this is a pretty big decision you have to make on the implementation. And the first one here, just trust the data, is much faster. But the second one is much more scalable. And this is what we see most customers do, because the first one here does require you to trust every data here, and you cannot do a lot of decision on it. Then there's a third one, which is a little bit difficult. That is, if you do the normal RichRelevance implementation, then you will have to link to links RichRelevance suggests, meaning when you have a recommendation banner, you'll have like 4 products, and there'll be links to richrelevance.com. And then when you click it, it'll do a redirect back to saxo.com or some other web shop you called. The basic point here is, if you do the RichRelevance links, that's fine. But some companies have the concerns about, especially SEO. Will the link juice fade? And second of all, there's some branding issues, like do you want external links there? And then you have to make some extra coding to do your own links. It's not that simple. It can be done, and I've seen it done with success. It just requires some extra code. So these are some key decisions you have to make in implementation, and it's worth being considerate about all these decisions and make the right decision here. And again, we can help making the right decision depending on your business needs. It's just important to have these decisions when you make the implementation. But all in all, RichRelevance is a great system. It's kind of simple to implement. We have done it before, and if you need help, we'd be love to have you to help. If you just want to hear some experiences, just hit an email. We can answer questions about it, and we will give our honest opinion. Besides that, I really hope that you'll get success from the RichRelevance tool, because I have been completely amazed by it myself, seeing the results from customers, and it's really a great tool. And it's a nice tool also for the IT department. So thanks for listening. You can always just go to java.com or write us an email as here, and then we'll get back to you. Thanks for listening, and have a very good day.